Today we're going to talk about kids and fighting and battles and duking it out.
Yeah.
So when your kid is having like a downright toss up with their friends, okay, maybe not physical, because that I would step in on that.
Yeah. I'd be placing bets.
Kid, I bet you the 4-year-old.
I'm putting $5 on that kid.
I'm putting $5 on
bruiser.
the 7-year-old, not the 4-year-old. But like when your kids are having a fight and they come home and they're crying and they're heartbroken, it's really hard to watch your little guy in pain. But at the same time, A, are you getting the full story? And B, should you step in? Like, stepping in, is that going to make it better or is it going to make it worse?
Well, there's a good question. I think I'm going to go with a little Switzerland here. It depends.
Okay.
If they're quite small, sometimes there might be a reason to step in and teach both of them a little lesson about sharing or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But, like there's sometimes like, hey guys, okay, we got to take turns. Like, but that's how they learn, right? I do think though, like the ages my children are at now, and the youngest is almost 10, I do not generally interfere when they're in little tete-a-tetes with the friends. I generally don't interfere when they're in them with their siblings. Like I do let them try to figure it out.
Right.
For a couple of reasons. It's good practice. Like that's life. You're gonna not agree with people all the time, and we're gonna handle conflict differently. I try to coach them a lot.
Yeah.
So they tell me about it. My teenagers, I definitely would not step in. My one kid has a friend whose mom steps in, and they had a little thing, and the mom messaged me, and I was just like, yeah, not appropriate. They're like 15. That's for them to sort out. So I'm sure they will. I have confidence that they'll be able to figure it out. And if they don't, like kids do grow apart. I did say that. Kids sometimes do grow apart, and that's okay.
It's a natural division.
That's right.
What age would it be okay for that mom to text you? How young?
I don't know.
Up to.
I mean, basically she was texting because she was sad that they were growing apart, and she was hoping my kid would reach out more. And my kid was really not wanting to. My kid, this kid had done some stuff that my kid was just not cool with. Right. And in a way, she was following my lead, which is we don't let people in our lives who don't treat us well or are toxic or, so she was making a good choice to distance herself. So I wasn't going to go and say, you need to start reconnecting with this kid, because I was quite happy that she wasn't. The way she did it, we got to talk about that. We talked about, there's a great opportunity for you to either, have a conversation with her and just be like, hey, look, I think we're just at this point now. It's great. I love seeing you around school and whatever, but I'm just needing a little bit of break where I find that we're very different. And those conversations, that takes a lot of maturity.
It does. Yeah.
But it's okay also just to kind of, draw away from them. Stop going where they're going or inviting them to things and that's very
have to
natural.
Be a bad thing.
No, it's a very natural thing to happen, especially for teenagers.
And it's gonna that's when they really start to notice that friendships aren't forever all the time, and that's like kind of a growing up thing, right?
And when I told my kid that I heard from this other mother, she was like, if you ever did that, I would kill you. I would kill. Yeah. And it's like, well, don't mention to the daughter. Like, don't. She's like, okay, no, that's fine, but she was like, that's so gross.
Yeah. Well, also it takes away your confidence in your child, right?
Totally.
I don't think you can handle this, so I'm gonna step in and handle it for you.
It does send a big message.
And that goes that's counter to everything we're supposed to be doing right now, right? Which is like you have to build problem-solving skills and strategies and tools, and then you turn around and take all that away from them and say, but I'm gonna handle this one.
That's right.
Yeah. Now we have a situation too, and it's a totally understandable situation. There's a lot of girls in my daughter's class. There's a lot of drama going on right now. It's a grade 1-2 split. So got different ages, different personalities. They've got buddies they want to hang out with.
Sure,
other kids
social.
feel left out.
That's normal.
It's very normal. We talk at home about, how that makes other kids feel, and we use examples. But beyond that, I'm not willing to go any further because I'm not going to step in and do something. And yes, I do have the situation where moms text about it, and I've texted about it too when I have felt it's really escalated.
Right. I mean, you have to use good judgment.
But they're 7, right? And right now you're like, okay, I feel like we're still learning this social dynamic.
Right.
And, when kids are in the moment playing with their friends, they're not really good at seeing how other kids feel.
Sure.
So I feel like, maybe a year or more of this, and then after that,
you're on your own, folks. folks.
I'm happy to
Yeah.
hear about it, but the other thing too is we fight in front of my daughter, my husband and I, and we show her that we do it without name calling.
Yeah.
We do
Healthy
it
conflict.
healthy
Yeah,
conflict,
yeah.
not saying anything mean to each other, not throwing barbs. We're using,
Fight fair.
tactical
Fight fair.
conversation, and
Yeah.
we always work it out in
Yeah.
front of her.
Yeah.
And we learn to apologize to each other when
Great role modeling.
yeah, like
Yeah.
we had a little blowout the other night, and I think I was maybe a little hormonal and overtired, and I got really mad, overly mad at her daddy,
Right.
which she saw, of course. And then I left the room, and I went upstairs on my laptop for a while. And then I came down, and in front of them both, I said, "Okay, Mommy's done her timeout."
Yep.
And what I learned was that
My teachable moments to myself.
I kind of blew up, and I owe you both a kiss and a hug.
Yeah.
So we all made up.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then you
So
move on, and you don't even bring it up again. It's done. Move on.
So that brings me to another point about
Yeah.
parents getting involved. Like I said, I'm fine with parents getting involved to
When
a certain
necessary.
point,
Yeah.
especially in this age group. But where I'm not okay with it is the over discussion with our kids, where every single thing that happens because of one incident, becomes a conversation. And to me, if I give anything too much airtime, then my daughter thinks it's worth the airtime.
Holy truth.
Yeah,
Right there.
Like, when a
Right
little kid is
there.
running and he falls and he hurts himself, and in your head you go, holy shit, that's gonna hurt. And they look at you and you're going, hey, bud,
I look
you're
away.
okay.
I look in
and
the
then
other
they
direction.
look at you and they go,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
That's the same thing,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
If they come to you crying and say,
If
so
you
and
give
so
it airtime, if you
doesn't
give it
wanna play.
attention,
Yeah, if you
100%
say,
Jack.
oh, that poor, you must feel really bad. And like, then they're like, holy crap, I really do feel bad. My whole
yeah.
day's ruined now. Thanks,
Yeah.
lady.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree.
I do think by us giving it too much energy, we're giving them too much energy.
Totally,
So.
totally.
Yeah.
So what about you folks? Do you intervene? Give us an example. What's a time where like a mom reached out to you, or you reached out to a mom and maybe the reaction wasn't great, or who knows? I mean, how involved are you willing to get with your kids' little fights with the friends?
Yes, let us know. Subscribe and comment, and let us know what you're thinking about. We'd love to talk about whatever is on your mind. Any topic, we'll cover it.
Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you next time.